Hi guys and girls. I don't think women really watch my videos. It just seems like only men watch my videos. What a fucking day, yo. Ugh. What a day at the hospital. So over the past couple days, I've been receiving a bunch of emails, which I think could be from the same person. Because they're probably like, all right, she didn't reply to my email, let me try this, right? But I do know that a few of these emails are actually from the same person, but I think all of them may be. So I'm going to read you guys how many emails I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 emails. I'm going to read you guys. I actually received more, but I don't think we're going to have time to get to all of them. So I may come back and address those at another time, at a later date. So, peace, Anthony. But I felt like today was a good day to kind of break away from my traditional routine. I hate when my video chops up like that. But anyway, I felt like today was a good day to break away from my traditional routine of coming home from work and unwinding and just chilling to do this video, given that today was kind of a stressful day. It's kind of unusual, stressful day at work. So this is a good breakaway. It's a good distraction, I would say, from work. And I'm going to shower myself with this sage. Sage is good for grounding yourself, but it's also good for cleansing. It's good for the immune system. So I'm going to let that burn, and I'm also going to light an incense. You miss me. What you doing missing me? I didn't go anywhere. But I take that as a compliment, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and get into this. So this email was sent 3 days ago, and this person says, "Hi, well, this is a bit scary but exciting. I am an older white male, and I am a clinical psychologist." So I think people know the right things to say in their email. It kind of raised my antennas, given that I'm a clinical psychologist. But I think they're just trying to make it a little juicy, right? I think this might be a little fictional story here. This person sent, like, what's the likelihood a clinical psychologist is going to message me about Black New World Order and cuckolding? What's the likelihood? Not to say that it's impossible. And it's funny because I did make a post on YouTube and on my Facebook page to say that I dream of the day that I could be able to chat with other psychologists about BDSM and not get judged by it. So maybe this is this person's attempt, even if they're not, let's say, a psychologist for real. But maybe this is this person's attempt to will that wish into action, right? To speak it into existence. So that would be great. You say THC is sage. This is like this is also an anti-drug too. Burning incense and burning sage, and also making these videos. It's like my anti-drug. I don't smoke, but you know, I have some wine here and there, so I do have my South African wine in here. I'm going to indulge in while I do this video. Alright, he says, "I'm an older white male and I'm a clinical psychologist, quite well known in my field. See, I hate that this person is trying to be anonymous, right? He's like, for now, anonymous. For now. But clearly, there's a return address. Maybe he made it up. It could be fake. That he made it up just to send the email, right? I don't know. But kind of mysterious. He says, I have become more and more interested in BNWO, which is Black New World Order, which I say it's a joke because of the catchphrase Black New World Order. It sounds like it's a political movement, right? But it's sexual. And we're going to get into that too in a minute, because someone else sent an email to contest my assertion that BNWO is a bunch of baloney, right? We're going to get to that email in a minute, but they want to debate with me about that. I made a whole video on Black New World Order because someone asked for my perspective on it, and I had to just be quite honest. I'm like, listen, as a person who advocates for sexual freedom and expression, I think I do a good job at it to myself because, I mean, look at me. Look at me. Do I look like a conformist? Absolutely no. But let's be honest. It's just like, it's a nice catchphrase. It's like a porn hashtag. But don't be trying to mix the two. Right? Don't be trying to mix people's sexual proclivities and fantasies and fetishes with a political movement, right? Because that's more serious. But anyway, he says, I have become more and more interested in BNWO and Black female supremacy. I wonder if chatting with me might help you in some way learn ever more about these issues from a clinical psychologist's point of view and a sub's point of view. And also, I suspect the potential for me to serve you in some ways. It's like, okay, this is where I think is fake, because that's not how psychologists move. Granted, he did say he's a senior psychologist. So, once you're in the field for a while, right, you start to like kind of go against the grain. You know, you're not so much on your tippy toes when it comes to adhering to legal and ethical standards, right? Because you've been around the block so many times as a senior psychologist, as opposed to how, you know, maybe an amateur psychologist like myself may approach things. You know, you got to play it safe. So for him to say, like, to send me an email, right, and say that he wanted to serve me, I just think that, okay, let's say this email is real, right? Which I don't think the story is real. I mean, it's a nice story. I'm always up for a good story, but I don't think it's real. But let's just go with the idea, if it's real, and if you are a clinical psychologist, why say that? Now, granted, I'm not interested in taking on any submissive. That's not my thing. I am a submissive. I made this very clear. So it's like, if you really, really, really watch my videos, and you'll know that that's not my thing. I have no interest in dominating any man. Unless, there's a caveat. I talked about this in the context of polyandry and kingdom nation building, right? But that's different. Like, these kind of men, I will have no interest in relating to them in any kind of way, right? The kind of way that they're fantasizing about just wouldn't be my thing. Like, I'm not attracted to submissive men. I feel like, what use would I have with a submissive man? None at all, really, right? So, really, their attempts to, I guess, persuade me to take them on as a submissive and dominate them is really a waste of time, right? Useless energy exerted on their part. But I guess, like they say, like, it doesn't hurt to try, right? It doesn't hurt to be honest and express yourself, and just to see, like, who knows? Maybe they can convince me, but nah. I just don't feel like you have anything to offer. And then on top of that, like, you're anonymous, right? So I'm doing this for the sake of entertainment, right? And just something to do. It's fun. I find this to be very fun and engaging to answer you guys's and respond to you guys's emails and inquiries that you send to me. But it's just like I wouldn't even entertain a guy that I met like on my social media. It's just, that's not how I go about dating or developing like, you know, intimate relationship with guys. That's not, no, because I'm very discreet. Like I move different. You know what I'm saying? How I move. It should be clear. Maybe it can be confusing and misleading because I do seem so like open and welcoming with you guys when I make videos and I interact with you guys. Yeah, I can do that. But the idea of, let's say you guys messaging me just randomly, right? And oh, you assume that we're gonna meet and we're gonna have something going between us, like it's not going to happen. It's not. Because most of you guys just aren't my type unless you're Dr. Umar Johnson. But you're just not my type. So anyway, nice try though. But I'm saying he just wants you like every other man that lays their eyes on you. I don't think he wants me. I think he wants just excitement. You can get that from anyone. So, yeah, going back to his email, he says, I wonder if chatting with me might help you in some way learn ever more about these issues from a clinical psychologist's point of view. So I was okay with that, right? And a sub's point of view. Okay. I would be open to that. Hence the reason why I'm making this video here. So you're going to watch this and then you can reply, follow up to your email, send a reply, right? And then comment, let me know what you think. Go a little bit, like, expound. Like, this is just an introduction that he's sending me, right? This is like a proposal, an idea. But he's not really sharing his point of view. He's just like, I have a point of view that you can learn from a clinical psychologist perspective. But he didn't share it. Why don't you just get straight to the point? But anyway, trying to tease us, I guess. He says, yeah, and I also suspect the potential for me to serve you. I also suspect or expect. But anyway, that's what has me wondering, like, are you really a PhD? As much more senior PhD, full professor psychologist, and you as an intelligent, talented black woman interested in BNWO, black female supremacy? No, I think it's a joke. I already said that. If so, let me know and provide your Twitter handle so I can Twitter. I'm not on Twitter. So I can send a message and we can perhaps chat there. Why? So I can see who you are. Like, the funny thing about a lot of men, they don't even, like, they may have a social media account, but they don't really have many pictures. Men don't really take pictures like that. He's just saying that to get your attention. He sounds like he wants to get spanked by you, but at the same time, have you as his sexual slave. He's trying to act like he on your level to see what you like. Yeah, I think he's trying to, like, say, oh, he's a clinical psychologist so that he may feel that that's his weight in, you know, to get my attention so that he's relatable, right? But, nah. Twitter, though, no, just, like, send a reply to this email here. That's all you have to do. Just send a reply to this email. And jump right into the discussion. Just go ahead and say what you're going to say. Take care for now, anonymous, right? So that was 3 days ago. And then he comes back again and says, hi, not sure if you check this or your email more regularly, but I'm a senior clinical psychologist. Send an email your way. Hope all is well. Have a great 2022 and stay healthy. So that was like an hour after the other email. Then he sends another one. yesterday. Hi, just thought I would try one more time because he's so impatient, right? And I think a lot of people just think that, like, I make videos and that's all I do. That would be great, though. That would be the life. But no, I actually work at a hospital full time. So I have other obligations. Just thought I would try one more time to connect and chat about your work and interest in BDSM as a clinical psychologist. Senior, he keeps saying that. Senior full professor and former chair. As a white man, I also have an interest in BNWO and growing. Like, listen, you can remain anonymous, okay? Maybe you don't trust me, that I will maintain your anonymity. I said it. I have to slow it down to say it, though. But I will, like, I don't care about necessarily who you are, though. It will be curious. Like, I'm curious to see, to just confirm, like, okay, you're not bullshitting, right? Like the lawyer guy in the UK, you know, he revealed to me who he was, but he made it clear that he wanted me to maintain confidentiality and not disclose his name, which I don't ever disclose any of you guys' name or personal information, or identifying information, shall I say. Yeah, because I think that is not really necessary. And that's also to protect myself. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about me saying your name or who you are, but I will be curious just to see for myself who you are. It's not going to count against you. I mean, listen, there are ways. So if I truly want to know who you are, it's not that hard. But anyway, I also have an interest in BNWO and growing acceptance of black female supremacy. Send an email from the address above and would be interested in hearing from you. And he signs off with his name, supposed name. I think you are projecting, Anthony. I think that's a projection. So, you know, we look at the world and we interpret situations through our own lens, right? So, he just wants to use his money as power and control to see if you will fall for his materialistic bullshit. He trying to sell you a dream and buy you like a slave. But he didn't really mention money. He just mentioned his status as a clinical psychologist, supposed status, let's say, allegedly. I don't get the sense that he's trying to buy me. He didn't mention anything about that. But there are men who come directly out and be like, oh, they want me to take advantage of them financially, right? I think that shit is a joke too. Tell him you're not for sale or an auction. He's just trying to get in your panties, girl. Are you projecting? Maybe you're projecting. All right, so let's go to the next one. So this was sent from a different person. This was actually sent 8 days ago. All right, I saw your video from June on Black New World Order. Was that back in June? Let's see. Not all psychologists have a lot of money, though. I mean, not the kind of money that I think I would be moved by. Okay, I guess he's right. The reality. So he's talking about the video entitled "The Reality of BNWO, Black New World Order." That I made June. It was published on June 5th, 2021. See, I'm not moved by a person hiding behind like a fake profile or, you know, just hiding. Like, I'm moved. You know what moves me? Men who are bold. That's what moves me. I should have got some more almonds. But that's what moves me. Like, men who are bold, who are courageous. I'm attracted to alpha men, right? Who just are straightforward, right? Like, put it out there, you know. They send an email, attach a picture or a couple of pictures of themselves. Like, this is who I am. That's what I'm moved by. I'm not an ignorant woman. Same thing with, like, dating online. Like, I don't understand how men assume, like, online, that you're going to send a woman with a brain is going to send a reply to a man who is anonymous. You don't even have a picture. No profile picture. So I'm going to talk to this random miscellaneous person. This question mark ass motherfucker. Do it look like I have that kind of amount of time to just entertain a question mark? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Alright. I find that very annoying. But anyway, I saw your video from June on BNWO. I never heard of BNWO before, but I say, as a once collared white slave, very hetero, owned by a black, very real female owner. There's more to it than sexual. Duh. Tell me something I don't know. In that video, I think I made it pretty clear that, first of all, I just don't think that people within a certain lifestyle, this alternative sexual lifestyle, should be using Black New World Order. Unless you're really trying to bring about, like, real power. You get what I'm saying? Like, that, if you're talking about something that is political, I don't take that very lightly. I take it actually as a slight. I'm offended by that, you know? Yeah, I already stated my perspective on that. I'm not going to rehash that, but just go back and watch the video I made on the reality of BNWO. Like I said, I don't judge people. If you want to fucking be a slave to a black woman, do you. Who gives a fuck? No one really cares, you know? But don't try to justify what you do and hide behind this label of BNWO. Like, no. I think, like I said, it's a joke. Alright, we're going to go into, let me finish eating this almond. I feel some energy welling up in me. I love the smell of that oil that I purchased the other day in Harlem. I'm wearing it now. It smells so good. Anthony, you clearly don't know who the fuck I am. You don't. But I get it. He said he was born into money. Not all white people were born into money. You gotta, like, expand your horizon and open up your mind. But you clearly have been, I get it, you've been locked up for the past however long you were locked up. I think it's like a delusion, right? It's a fallacy, you know, to assume that all white people come from money. That shit is a lie. Money that trickled down the generations of his forefathers from the blood, sweat, and tears from our ancestors. That's not all white people. You say, be careful, he might be a serial killer. I'm not worried about this motherfucker. You might be a serial killer. That's what I think you're projecting. Oftentimes people be saying things about other people, but they really are projecting themselves out, you know, onto another person. You say he really wants to enslave the black woman and have his way, but those days are over. That can be a perspective, right? A motivating factor. We're going to get into that too. Not all white people were born into money. How you figure he was born into money? Just because he's white? Oh my gosh, to me, I think that's very ignorant to say. But anyway, he says, okay. So this is his defense right here, right? He says, I never heard of wait a minute. He just reversed the letters. It's actually BNWO. He said, I never heard of NBWO. New Black World Order? Okay. But may I say, as a once collared white slave, very hetero, owned by a black, very real female owner, there is more to it than sexual. Black people can empower themselves off of their white slaves politically, financially, and personally. They can feel empowered, right, by the dynamic, the power dynamic that is created and maintained between them and their white slaves. They can feel empowered, but when we're talking about race, structural, systemic racism, that's not going to change just because a black person get with a white person sexually, or even marry them, right? And there is an exchange of wealth there, resources. Like, that's not going to change the structural system of racism and the side effects, the residual effects of that, and leading to racial oppression. That's not going to do anything for that. That's just like saying, oh, electing a black president, that's going to change racism. No. Putting a black face in office is not going to change anything. But anyway, the idea sounds, I guess, motivating. But that's how white people feel like they can get leverage, I think. Like, I feel like it's a form of manipulation for white people who are into this lifestyle to get their needs met and trying to convince black people, like, oh, it's a form of empowerment, right? And of course, like I even mentioned, there is a black woman, I believe this is New York, that actually is a dom, a femdom, and she like parades around New York with her white male slave, you know, on all fours, right? And I saw an interview where she was saying that this is her way of kind of reclaiming her power over white people. That's her way of doing it, you know, and she sounds very convincing, right? But that's not changing anything on a global, you know, macro level. Is not. But anyway, my black owner required my absentee ballot on every election. That's what I'm saying. Just like, yo, this person clearly doesn't know. Like, this person clearly isn't woke, right? So for people to really think that they really believe in this whole idea about democracy, and they believe in Democrat and Republican, like, they don't get it. Like, you just brainwashed. You just don't get it. You just don't get it. It's not real. But anyway, that's just the face. That's a facade of what's really happening behind the scenes. That's not real to assume that voting is going to change anything. But anyway, that's what I'm saying. It's just all manipulation, like, which is kind of really annoying to me. And I wasn't really going to read this, because like I said, I already shared my perspective on BNWO, and it's bullshit. He says, she ran my budget, allowing me only the money I needed to sustain myself, and required me to personally serve and service her. If there are 100 votes and 100 black votes, and if blacks take one white vote from there are 99 white votes and 101 black votes, then 102, oh my gosh. Yo, it's too late for this. Then 102 black and 98 white vote, and so on. That's real black power, respectfully. That's not. Just live your life, right? Just do you. Like, stop trying to what's the point, right? What's the point in trying to convince? If you're living it, right? If you're living within this paradigm that you've created in your mind, that you're empowering black people by submitting to by submitting to a black female dom, right? And that was a Freudian slip, because when you think about it, anybody know, like, real revolutionary change, it's a different way to go about it. And it doesn't really involve having to partner with white people, per se, right? It doesn't involve that. In fact, it's a complete opposite of that, right? To do for self, to build our own system, to build our own infrastructure. Like, that's kind of feeding into white supremacy if you need white people to overcome your oppression. Pause. Think about that. The white man is the oppressor, right? The black man, meaning man and woman, right, is the oppressed. And you're saying the solution is centered on the black man, depending essentially on the white man to overcome, to regain power. Who's really in control? You can't play mind games with me, okay? It just doesn't work. You cannot manipulate a master manipulator. Make it make sense. True revolutionary change comes when black people join forces with each other, independent of the oppressor, right? And rise above the circumstances to regain power. Are we really going to go there? But anyway, moving along. See, I'm a Pan-African. And clearly, or maybe not so clear to y'all, because y'all really don't really know me like that. You don't follow me like that. You watch my videos, but you really don't know me. It's a difference. Anybody who does truly know one of my biggest influences is Dr. Umar Johnson. His influences is Frederick Douglass, Marcus Garvey. You know, you think about their philosophies and their teachings, then you'll see the perspective that I'm coming from. I recently viewed your YouTube video on Black New World Order. I honestly never heard of it before. By your remarks, it seems to be black on white homosexuality domination. No, my remarks is in response to the emails that y'all sent to me. Do y'all not get that? Right? And I'm just commenting on emails that you guys send to me with these scenarios that may be true or may be made up, right? So if I'm mentioning homosexuality or black on white homosexuality domination, then that's coming from something that was sent to me, that you guys sent to me, and we're having a discussion about it. You seem to suggest, like, don't get it mistaken, right? Like, I don't mind having conversation with you guys and making videos, but I don't like when you guys misinterpret where I'm coming from in the video. So it does require that you watch the video. That's why I think this is the same person, right? Because, yeah, this is the same person because he signs off with the same name. The email that I just read, right? It's the same person, but he sends another email. He says, you seem to suggest all black on white domination is only sexual in nature. Having been a collar white slave straight to a black mistress, a natural woman, I would respectfully disagree. But what happened? You said having been, y'all not together now? You can't fool me, yo. I know that y'all here because it's sexual. I'm not saying that that's the only motivation, because I already talked about this before. Like, of course, it goes deeper than sex. And that's the aspect of the dynamic that I like to tap into, especially as a psychologist. I know BDSM is deeper than sex. I actually get offended when, I express to people that that's my interest, right? That's my thing. And then they go straight to the idea of sex. So, me of all people, I, of course, know that it's deeper than sex. But I must say, for a lot of y'all, it is about sex. Because y'all make it about sex. Y'all come on here. Y'all don't be talking about shit else. Y'all talk about sex and penis size. What else are y'all talking about? That's why a lot of y'all emails I don't fucking read. And I don't address in the video because it's so saturated in sex. In sex, of course, it's all how you look at it, right? Sex can be very shallow, but sex can be very deep and spiritual. But I know it's not that for you guys because, for y'all, it's like these are flings. This is just, it's like a sexual healing, right? Just the dynamic, the activity of being owned sexually by, y'all call it black mistress. Someone call me that. I'm like, you got me fucked up, okay? You know fucking body mistress. The hell? That's what I'm saying, y'all. It's just sex for y'all. Because y'all talk about these situations that already happened. This is not something ongoing. I ain't going to say all of y'all because some of y'all actually, yeah. You're involved. And actually, it's ongoing for you guys. I like to talk about and explore the part of this dynamic that is non-sexual in nature. But y'all, it's we talk about, like, when I make videos, right? I build. Did you notice? I build upon what y'all are talking about. I go off of what y'all are talking about. Some people have a little bit more insight and are able to speak about these activities, right? And their experiences from more of a psychological nature, right? And then some of y'all just are very surface level with it. So let's go deep. We can go deep. Black people can empower themselves politically and financially, as well as personally, from their white slaves. Politically, by obtaining and using this is the same person, their white slaves' votes. Absentee ballots are good, and controlling their white slaves' money, mostly for themselves, so it can be more than just sexual. Really, really trying to convince me. You say, I just want an obedient black woman that honors her king. But what do you bring, right? Like, to the table? Any man that asks a woman what she brings to the table definitely he's not alpha. You got men that do that. They try to flip that question around. Those are those 50-50 egalitarian men. You know, woman asks them, or trying to get a sense of, what their value is. And that's important, especially for procreation, mate selection. Women, look for protectors, providers. Makes sense. That should go without even saying or having to explain. Anytime you got a man that want to argue against that, it's a bitch ass motherfucker. It's a weak ass motherfucker. Right? They definitely aren't alpha. Like metrosexual, almost. They don't even like women. But anyway, let's go. Let's keep going. So this is actually the last email that I'm going to read, and it's pretty lengthy. And it was sent 4 hours ago. Saying that you are a man, king, ruler, alpha, that means nothing. What do you bring to the table? Saw some of and you have to, like, not speak about it, but just live it, right? Women know, you know what I'm saying, men that are alpha. Just live that life, and being alpha is different than being dominant. You got men that claim they're alpha, right? But they can't even take care of themselves. How are you alpha? One can make the argument that black men may be dominant, but are they really alpha? You know what alpha means? That construct is relative to your position in society. And if black men are at the bottom of the totem pole, strapped for resources, can you truly be alpha in that position? Alright, moving along. Saw some of your vids on YouTube and was wondering about some of your topics on swinging. I was talking to my fiance about children the other day. I think it kind of reads as though it's coming from a man. But let's see. I was like skimming through this email on my way home on the train. And it was kind of confusing. So let me see, can I make sense of this long ass email? It says, I was talking to my fiance about children the other day, and he mentioned his fantasy of breeding, assuming this is a woman, right? But I just can't believe it's a woman. Number one, because women really just don't watch my videos. They don't, according to even YouTube analytics. Women don't watch my videos. Very rare. And he mentioned his fantasy of breeding. Never heard about it till then. Did some research on it. Found some info on it on Yahoo. Who the hell uses Yahoo? Anyway, watch your videos on cuckolding and watch the one with the interracial couple that got pregnant by one of the swinger males. I am Black Asian. My fiance is white. Have never been with anyone else but my fiance. I thought it might be something interesting to try swinging. I've always been into white guys, but from what... So this is a black woman, assuming. But I don't get that. I just don't. Especially from the name. Could be a fake name, but that name is not no black woman's name, yo. But anyway, okay. I'm a Black Asian. My fiance is white. Have never been with anyone else but my fiance. I thought it might be something interesting to try swinging. I've always been into white guys, but from what I have heard and seen, black guys have bigger dicks. I think y'all just be wanting me to say it out loud. Y'all just like hearing me say that, right? My fiance has been pretty compelled to do the breeding thing with a black guy. I do feel like I am the dominant one in our relationship. I also wish to be dominated. Yeah. It's like being a switch, you know. The idea that a person, people are like on one extreme or the other, right? You have some people say, oh no, I'm 100% dominant, you know, or 100% submissive. It's just like within everyone, there is like a spectrum. And people swing. They vacillate on a pendulum on that spectrum, and it depends on a number of factors. I think to be a good dom, one must experience submission, and vice versa. I can see myself as a dom because I'm naturally dominant, but my preference is some submission. I am definitely interested in the swing aspect, but still unsure about the getting pregnant from another guy. Okay, make it make sense. So you're interested in the swinging aspect. Assuming this person is saying that they haven't had a sexual encounter with a black man. Though she's black, she's only been into white guys. Heard that black men have bigger dicks. Her fiance wants to do the breeding thing. Interested in the swinging aspect, which is just fucking. That's what I'm saying. See, y'all just want to fuck, okay? What other aspect of your relationship? That's all y'all talk about. It's the fucking part. What you trying to convince me that, oh, it's not just about the sex. It's deeper than that. But that's all y'all talking about. But still unsure about the getting pregnant from another guy, especially a black guy. We both want children. Okay, pause if you're watching this, the person who sent this email. Say more. Let's go there, right? See, this is the aspect that I want to explore more. The non-sexual aspect. of it, right? Because you're saying that you want to see what it's like to have sex with a black guy. But you just said still unsure about the getting pregnant from another guy, especially a black guy. I just think this is a white man writing this, but anyway. We both want children. The idea sounds hot. Oh, when I was talking about the Freudian slip earlier, I knew I was missing something, right? Yeah. Saying that a black mistress being with a white man is a form of empowerment. Really? No. I guarantee you, if I had a chance to sit with her and get to see in through her mind, she basically has inherited like internalized racism and negative bias against her own race. Just like this person here. If the story is true, she's saying she's black and Asian, right? And sure about getting pregnant by especially a black guy. Make it make sense. We both want children. The idea sounds hot. I think people might know that this isn't his child and isn't realizing difficulty and frustration from other people. I don't think I would care either way. I'm not sure if this is a good idea to go forward with, or is this just his fantasy. I would hate him to regret or have people say negative things towards him. I have also looking to what some white mothers, oh, this shit long as hell, white mothers go through that have mixed or black children. He keeps mentioning it would be better for the human race. It would help put an end to white supremacy. Y'all are so superficial. And privilege. Like, how would that put an end to white supremacy? You're saying these things. You're throwing things out there. How, though? It's not. First of all, ain't really no such thing as white supremacy. White people are not supreme. That's their whole agenda. To feel like they're supreme because they really feel inferior genetically. And they know that. So they create a system of white supremacy to big themselves up. Because they do and they feel and they know that they are genetically inferior. And I know there are going to be some people watching this. Oh, well, how do you know? Where is the scientific... Listen, I ain't say it. This is not me making this up. Your own science says it. About dominant and recessive genes. And y'all are lacking in the melanin department. White supremacy. Anyway, I think y'all just like hearing it. White people like just hearing, oh, white supremacy. It make them feel like they're supreme. Anyway. Alright. Where were we? He says genetically it would be better for the human race to be less white. He mentions black people are more superior in all the other ways. That's kind of like going along with the theory that Dr. Frances Cress Welsing developed. She is a late black, like very prominent black psychiatrist here in America, who wrote the book ISIS Papers, and she talks about the annihilation of the white race and how that can happen by simply black men not necessarily picking up a gun to kill off white people, but basically pulling out their dicks and fucking white people. But one can make the counter argument that it is doing the same thing to the black race. You're diluting the black race when you can just procreate with other black people and make more black babies, you're procreating with white people, and you're kind of diluting the race, right? So yeah. But anyway, where are we? He says genetically it will be better for the human race to be less white. He mentions black people are more superior in all other ways. I'm not sure if that's true. I don't think that is. That's no, like, you're black, but you're claiming, like, this person is claiming they're black, right? But you can hear the whiteness in them, right? You can hear the Caucasoid coming out, you know. They're not really good, I think, at storytelling. Just not. That's what I feel like. Authenticity is the best policy, right? Just keep it 100. Just write the email in your true natural state. Why pretend to be something that you're not, to try to hide your true motivations and really how you feel? I think I have more respect for people. It's just like, be straightforward and just say how you feel. If you're a white man and this is how you feel, if you're racist, then that's how you just be straightforward with it, right? You don't have to hide behind some facade and like, oh, I'm a black woman and this is my. Now, if you are a black woman, you've already made it clear that you have differentiated yourself from other black people. He mentions black people are more superior in all other ways. I'm not sure if that's true. I don't think that is. He says he would love me and our kids no matter what, even if all our children weren't from him. His parents aren't in his life. So as far as a judgmental family, I don't think that's a problem. My mother, I don't think, would care. So you were talking about other people caring. Like I say, some people are like terrible storytellers. Just terrible. They even forgot their own damn lives. And the story is not consistent. There's no continuity of the storyline. It's just all chopped up and you forget what the hell you said earlier, right? But you were talking earlier about the perspective of other people. You know, if you were to have children and people saying negative things towards him, my mother, I don't think, would care. I'm more concerned with him and the future, what others might say. If he is willing to go through with it, do you think this is the right thing to do? Like I said, I'm not so sure about the genetic part of bettering the human race. Coming from an evolution point of view, animals do it. Have you heard of couples wanting to do this? Animals do what? What the hell are you talking about? You're talking about breeding. Do you think it's bettering the human race? You're saying to get pregnant. If you're a black woman, right, you're saying to have sex with a black man and to get pregnant by a black man. Do I think that that's bettering the race? I mean, let's go with the idea this story is real, right? She want to throw the Asian there. It's like she's black and Asian. And her partner is a white man. She's never been with a black man sexually, but she's considering the idea. Her partner actually wants to take it a step further and breed, and she's expressing some hesitancy to do it with a black man, but sounds like she would be more inclined to do it with a white man and to do the swinging with a white man, right? and bring in a white bull and to breed with a white bull. It sounds like that's what she would be more inclined to do, because she was like, especially not a black man when it comes to the children part, getting pregnant, right? This is a kind of different story, right? Let's go with the idea of Israel. It's different because you're talking about already being a black woman and then breeding with a black man. It's not really like interracial breeding. It's just you procreating with a black man, which that's what you're supposed to do anyway, right? So if that's the case, why the hell are you with him? The white man, fiance. Oh, is that where the financial gain comes in? To regain financial power, economic power, which ties into political power. Is that where that comes in for you guys who want to make the argument that, oh, BNWO? I don't know. That's a lot to consider. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I think my brain at a certain hour kind of shuts down. And it has been a long day. But this is an introduction, so now we discussed it, we put it out there. Feel free to share your comments below on what you guys think about this. You say cockazoid. C-O-C-K. Cockazoid. That was funny, right? Alright, on that note, I'm going to catch you guys later. Tomorrow is hump day already. I'm thinking, I feel like I'm getting closer to falling in love. But I think it's hard. It's going to be hard for me to fall in love, right? But it depends though, because it's a two-way street, right? It's just not like me. It consists of me and another person. So the likelihood that I fall in love, right, is kind of dependent on obviously my own internal factors, but also the other person. So I've been thinking is it that time? It might just be that time, given that I'm talking to this potential. And that's the thing. They seem to have everything going for themselves, right? And then it's always something. It's just like, what's the catch? Because sounds like it's too good to be true. What's the catch? And yeah, I'm very attentive to very small details. The smallest detail can just be a turn off for me. And I'm like, no, I'm not interested. She got to be perfect for me. Or you think about it though, my last serious relationship was, I feel like, damn, time go by so much time is just passing, right? Because I remember saying this oh, it's only been 1 year since my last relationship, and then 2 years and 3 years, and now it's damn, 4 years. Last December, just last month, it was 4 years, right, since my last relationship ended, and I've been single. Can you imagine that? Single. Now I've dated, of course, but to be single, and not only that, but I feel like the longer I stay single, the more comfortable I get with singlehood, because I'm so well adapted to it. It's just damn, it's not that bad. But anyway, on that note, I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. Drop your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Cockazoid.